Hi guys, my name is Emily, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I normally talk about books, but I thought I would share with you some of my favorite movies. My taste in movies is a little bit different than my taste in books. When I sit down to actually watch TV or a movie, 99% of the time, I'm looking for a place to turn my brain off, to not be critical, to just laugh and feel warm and fuzzy. The critical part of me looks at these things and goes, wow, this is pretty heteronormative, this is pretty problematic. Why is everyone white? Why is everyone straight? But the person who just wants to relax, the uncritical Emily, enjoys these films and watches them over and over again. So I have a little stack of non-animated films that I really like, and if this goes well, maybe I'll share with you some of my favorite animated ones and TV shows. So if you like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up, let me know that you like it. Let's talk about What About Bob? So this is a Bill Murray film. Bob has some mental health issues. He is afraid to go outdoors. He is afraid of germs. He's afraid of everything. He is constantly being passed from doctor to doctor because he is super clingy and super invasive, will do things that are totally not okay to get more attention from his therapists. He ends up being taken on by Dr. Leo Marvin. Dr. Leo Marvin happens to be going on vacation just as Bob is passed into his care. And he takes a bus and finds his therapist and ends up at their family home and interacting with their family, and it's just his adventures, being out in the world for the first time, taking baby steps. Bob ends up pushing his boundaries and connecting with people, and it is hilarious. It is beautiful. I have watched this over and over again, and it is good for a laugh. The next movie I have here is one that you do have to turn your brain off for, but it's one of my favorites. It is Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. So this is the story of a rich, very entitled human being, Goldie Hawn, who brings her yacht into Elk Cove, a small town port, and she's bored, so she has her closet remodeled by Kurt Russell. It is not to her standards, so she throws Kurt Russell overboard and his tools overboard, and she drives away without paying him. Later that night, she falls overboard and she ends up suffering from amnesia. She ends up being washed back into the harbor where these guys are, and Kurt Russell decides, you know what? You don't know who you are? You're gonna work for me? So essentially he kidnaps this woman, and she has never done any sort of domestic labor in her life. She still has this really odd sense of entitlement, but she has no idea who she is. It's hilarious to watch her overnight become the parent of 4 boys who Kurt Russell has instructed to behave badly, to watch her try and cook and clean. There's an amazing scene where she has this raw chicken with, like, she doesn't do anything to it, she doesn't gut it, she doesn't take like its head or feet off, and she puts it in a pot of water and the feet are sticking out, and she's trying to make the feet fit in the pot, and she tries to put a pot lid on it. It's so good. It is so good. So many good moments. And it's an older film, but it continues to make me laugh. I have watched it so many times. It's just a movie that brings me joy. The next movie I have here is Hocus Pocus. This is something that I could watch at any point in the year, but I always save it for Halloween, of course. This is a story of Max, who is a virgin who lights the black flame candle, and he brings back the Sanderson sisters for one night on Halloween. I love witches, I love magic, I love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love the leaves, I love the decorations, and this movie just kicks it over the top because, of course, it's a movie. Movies always have like crazy decorated neighborhoods. The witches are great. Bette Midler's musical number, I Put a Spell on You, fantastic. Again, an older movie, a little bit dated now, but I think it still stands up. You've probably all seen it, but it's one of my favorites. The next movie I have here is Leap Year. Anna is a woman who travels to Dublin where her partner is at a doctor conference because there's an Irish tradition where on a leap year a woman can propose to a man. So she and her partner have been in a relationship for a really long time. Her life goal is to become married to this man, and he's just not proposing. She ends up going on this journey, and there's a storm and the plane lands in the wrong place, so she gets in a boat, and then the boat ends up landing in the wrong place, and she ends up staying in this small, crappy little inn, and getting this gentleman here, Declan, to drive her to Dublin. They, of course, clash in just all ways possible. She's this hopeless romantic, rich American, and he is this down in his luck former romantic Irish person, and so they clash. They clash, and it is hilarious. Anything that can go wrong does go wrong, and it is a cute little romance. They do end up sort of having this really great friendship and chemistry, and I love this. This is a recent watch, well, as recent as Blockbuster went out of business like 8 years ago. This is something that brings me joy, and it's a silly, lighthearted rom-com, and sometimes you need things like that. The next movie I have here is Mamma Mia, which is one of my favorite musicals. I have seen Drayton Theatre in Cambridge do this. I just love this story. I think we watched the play in Cambridge, and then we came home and we watched the movie to compare. Like, that's how much I love this story. I am a sucker for musicals. I love music, and this is just so funny. Amanda Seyfried is gorgeous. I love her voice. Seeing Meryl Streep and her BFFs just dink around is amazing. The filming in Greece is beautiful. Like, the songs are great. The songs are catchy. I just love it. It's a feel-good movie. Like, whenever I start to sing one of the songs, you get one of the songs stuck in your head, and then you get all the songs stuck in your head, and then it's time to watch the movie. The next thing I have here is something that I could watch any time of year, but I do tend to watch in the fall, and that is Practical Magic, which is based on a book by Alice Hoffman that I haven't read because I've heard it does some different things, and like, these are characters that I am so attached to. I love this story. I love the relationship between the Owens sisters, and I love to see that relationship between the generations. Like, you have the aunts, you have Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock and their relationship, and then you have the two little girls. I love the house, I love the location. I was devastated when I found out that they built the house on like a conservation area and then tore it down. Like, it looks so real. This is the story of the Owens sisters, who are sort of outcast in their town. There's a curse on their family because they are witches. And so, of course, it's about these sisters and what happens when Nicole Kidman's abusive boyfriend is accidentally made not alive. Goran Visenjic, who is Luca on ER, if you ever watched ER, he's fantastic in this. He's like so sexy and creepy at the same time. It's nice to see a community of women come together and support each other, and I love it. So the next movie I have here is Desk Set, from a box set of Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn's movies. And so Desk Set is a 1957 film in which Spencer Tracy's character is bringing modernization into this building where a group of women are essentially computers. They're Google. So people call in and they're like, what are the names of Santa's reindeers? And they just list them off. Or they're like, what is the line in Shakespeare that follows to be or not to be? And they just like have it memorized. So they have this big library that exists, and sometimes they have to look things up and call people back. They like sort of fact check for newspapers. They're human Google, basically. Katharine Hepburn's character runs this office. She's super smart, super witty, incredibly gifted, and she just blows Spencer Tracy away, obviously, but he is there to bring in a computer. He's there to bring in mechanization and modernization. So it pits these women who are basically out of a job against a computer, and it is hilarious. Katharine Hepburn's character is so witty and so on point, and I love her. So the last movie I have here is She's the Man, with Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum. So this is a retelling of The Twelfth Night. Again, it's kind of old now, but not as old as some of the other things. So when Viola Hastings' school cuts the girls' soccer team and won't let them try out for the boys' soccer team, she pretends to be her brother. She dresses as a man, tries out for the boys' soccer team, makes the boys' soccer team, and plays. And in the meantime, Olivia falls in love with Sebastian, who falls in love with her roommate Duke Orsino, who loves Olivia. And so we get this really great messed up love triangle. I just love it. I love that they have taken this Shakespeare play and modernized it, and every time I watch it, I am guaranteed a laugh. That's what I'm looking for, right? That is what I'm looking for in the films that I'm watching, is a giggle. Those are some of my favorite films. These are films that I will watch over and over again, and they make me happy every time. They are not without flaw. I'll put that out there. They are not without flaw in terms of diversity. They're not the most politically correct. They are products of their time in many cases. So let me know in the comments down below, what types of movies do you like to watch? Chat with me about things that are not books, and I'll see you soon with a bookish video. I promise this channel will remain bookish.